Breaking news. We want you to look down at the lower ticker here and to what's on the screen. We are at session lows at the moment. We are down 421 points for the Dow, S&P down 63, NASDAQ down 254. Perhaps some of this, much of it, has to do with the fact that the stimulus bill and the procedural vote to pass it and shift it on to the next procedure did fail in the Senate. This was the GOP bill for stimulus. It was smaller, sort of a skinny package than the Democratic bill that did pass in the House. So the president has announced he will speak at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. That's in about 23 minutes. We'll take it because you can see the effect on the markets right now. We have this breaking news. The date for the long-awaited peace talks between the Taliban and the Afghan delegation have just been announced. It will begin this Saturday in Qatar. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo welcoming the news with this statement moments ago, quote, "I urge the negotiators to demonstrate the pragmatism, restraint, and flexibility this process will require to succeed. The U.S. is prepared to support as requested." Meanwhile, international diplomatic drama intensifying in just the past 24 hours, whether it's China, Russia, or Iran, with the U.S. squarely in the middle. And just as tensions are rising, we're less than a week away from what would have been the largest annual gathering of global leaders in New York City. But the UN General Assembly this year will be mostly virtual due to the pandemic. Regardless, the issues are very real and as serious as ever. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Kelly Craft has been grappling with all of them. She joins us in a Fox Business exclusive. First, your quick comments on the Afghan-Taliban talks.
You know, what's exciting to me is that President Ghani and Abdullah have come together. And, you know, as you know, one of my objectives for Afghanistan is the women in Afghanistan, and making certain that we continue to uplift them and to keep them in the major roles that they are in. So this is great news for my perm rep here from Afghanistan. I've already spoken to her today, and we are very excited to have this news and know that there's going to be a future for the Afghan people.
I am very happy you just said that. I've worked with the Feminist Majority Foundation for years when the Taliban was issuing gender apartheid, killing women doctors and lawyers. Yeah, we need to turn that situation around. Let me get to China, Ambassador. Sure. We're so glad you're here to talk about this. We've got tensions simmering between the U.S. and China, you know, in June 30th, when China violated the original transfer from Britain, the colony of Hong Kong, to China, and in essence instituted national security issues and really cracked down on protesters who were pushing for pro-democracy moves there. Now we know that the Trump administration is considering possibly banning imports from China of things like cotton and tomatoes from the region where the Uyghurs, the Muslim minority, are at the moment. Is this the next step in ramping up yet another trade war?
You know, you're so right. And first of all, what I always like to open up with when I speak about China is that we value our relationship with the Chinese people. We value our relationship with Chinese Americans. And that being said, what we absolutely cannot stand for is the Chinese Communist Party, General Secretary Xi, and the way that he is consistently delays information, conceals information. It is just outright lies, and that has caused irreparable damage to the people all over the world, whether it's, as we can see today, whether our economies, whether it's the health, the well-being. You know, we have to stand very firm. We have to make certain that we shine a light on the Chinese Communist Party, on their human rights abuses of the Uyghurs, of Africans, of Tibetans, you name it, of, you know, the way they treat Hong Kongers, what is going on in Taiwan. I mean, if you look at Taiwan and you see that in December of 2019, they were the ones who went to the W.H.O. They were the ones who told China that this COVID-19, this Wuhan virus, is transmittable from person to person. But the WHO, being a mouthpiece for China, did not disclose to us. They were not transparent. That has cost us thousands of lives, not only in America, but all over the world.
Well, but Ambassador, the president is putting down some serious red lines. One of them is that he will ban TikTok, the short-form video app that is Chinese-owned by ByteDance, within 5 days. Apparently, ByteDance is trying to find an end run around that, but Some people perceive that China has boxed in the president. They're going to force him to ban a very popular app. But on top of all of that, there appears to be now a tech war between the U.S. and China. Ray Dalio of Bridgewater, we're a business network, so we listen to these voices, largest hedge fund. Ray Dalio just spoke on the Economic Club of New York Zoom website minutes ago. He said China is an effective competitor in trade war, in geopolitical, capital, military, and he said it's an attractive alternative that the world is underweight there. China's influence is growing. Does the U.S. risk standing alone at the United Nations when you have a lot of other countries not joining in?
Well, I have to say this has never been a popularity contest, and we do not mind standing alone. Matter of fact, we will stand alone on any issue that could possibly damage, whether it be the cybersecurity, whether it be personal protective rights of especially the individuals that use TikTok. If you see that age group, those are the people that are vulnerable. They are vulnerable to their families, information being distributed, being collected. The president is going to do everything in his power, first of all, to make certain that the American people are safe and that our information is secure. Now, I
Do you
deal
think
with
he'll
this
ban
every
it,
day.
Ambassador?
I beg your pardon?
Do you think he will ban it in 5 days?
I think what's important is the way that we see the 5G and the Huawei, and we I can't speak for the president, but what I can guarantee you is he has thought this through, and his main objective is to make certain that we protect the information, the personal, private information, and the technology of our manufacturing, of our, the core of our economy, that we protect them from the Chinese Communist Party and from their infiltrating our information.
Well, you do have the Midas touch. When you were ambassador to Canada, you were very involved in renegotiating the North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement. So that seemed to work well. We'll be watching you and everything that you do. Please come back on another day when we have more news around the UN General Assembly. We'd love to hear your perspective on Russia, because we know with all the news that's happening, Russia is apparently trying to hack both the Trump and the Biden campaigns. So we'll have you back. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.